I signed a letter in support of J.K. Rowling condemning the vile abuse that they were removing not only my name but my photograph from all their CDs. And as a result, I lost a significant amount of work because of their cowardice.
So talking about abuse, me and you've got something in common. So most people who watch my channel know my backstory. 5 years ago, I was cancelled for criticising Black Lives Matter. Roll on 5 years. I'm completely right. They were fraudulent. They were criminals. They were fraudsters. Everything I said 5 years ago, you could say now, no one would blink. But I was slightly ahead of the curve through being naive, not through having a crystal ball. You went through something similar when you was working with Doctor Who, briefly, because you've talked about this many times. What happened there?
What happened was I was playing the master for Big Finish audio Doctor Who books, audio books, and I signed a letter in support of J.K. Rowling condemning the vile abuse that she was receiving, and I also signed a letter asking Stonewall for a rational debate, because they had just said their stance was no debate. And after that, I was accused of transphobia immediately. Big Finish released a statement saying, one of these meaningless statements saying, we don't endorse transphobic views of any time. And I found that they were removing not only my name, but my photograph from all their CDs. And when they eventually did a collection of all the people who played the master, decided to leave me out of it. So what they did, instead of calling me up and saying, look, we have a problem here, and I would have discussed it happily with them and said, well, actually, look, they sort of put it out there. Basically, they defamed me, behaved abysmally, and didn't even have the guts to tell me. So as a consequence of that, it's a bit like a game of Chinese whispers, it goes through. And as a result, I lost a significant amount of work because of their cowardice.
Oh, absolutely. You can imagine other producers and directors trying to fill a role that you'd be perfect in, and then reading that and going, do we need the asshole?
Well, this is it.
Yeah, so they tarnish you, and then other people see that and go, it may or may not be true. I've met him once, he was a nice guy, but do we need, there's 50 other guys wanting this role.
But you see, they know this, and this is why they do it, because it's their easy, cowardly way out. Because it absolves them of any responsibility, and then but they're saying online these things. Well, it's that old thing, a lie, and what's that phrase about, the truth is halfway around the world. A lie goes halfway around the world while the truth is still doing its boots up, is very much how things have been, especially for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, you said the word then, that's spot on, and the word's cowardice.
Cowardice.
That's how we've ended up in this situation, is through cowards, people not speaking up when they knew they should have spoken up. When I had my problems, I was chief exec of an award-winning charity that I founded. I had a board of trustees, 3 of them were personal friends, and they sacked me over email because online people were saying Nick's a Nazi. So they sacked me over email. 3 of them knew I weren't a Nazi. I'd known him I'd known 15 years. But cowardice told them, this online mob are coming after Nick at the moment. If we don't give them Nick's head, they may come after us. So let's just give him Nick. So they sacked me over email.
Yep. They threw you to the wolves. I mean, to cover their own asses. I mean, this is what they did to Graham Linehan, for different reasons. All his friends abandoned him. And in the same way, he's been completely vindicated now. But they sort of hate him all the more because he's told the truth. And people don't like, at the moment, they don't like the truth because the truth is incredibly ugly.
Yeah. Especially if you've been promoting it for decades. Especially if you have pilloried other people like Linehan because, of him just sticking up for women's rights and women's owning spaces. And then it gets to a stage where you have to say to yourself, was I wrong or do I just double down? And doubling down's easier than looking internally, being self-critical, and pulling yourself up for the mistakes and the cowardice of yourself. Most people can't have that conversation. That must be such a difficult thing to do it to yourself, that most people go, no, not going to believe the facts, not going to believe the cast reports, not going to believe that women are being raped in jails, not going to believe that men are physically stronger than women. And so I'll just double down.
The amount of denial that goes on, and what gets me now, it's the volume of lies. It's the volume of and it's everyone knows they're lying. Today, just today, recently, as an example, some trans rights activist, this awful gay man who tweeted, posted, J.K. Rowling is attempting to remove all rights from trans people, and he was asked about 150 times by different people, please tell us which rights they're losing. Please, and they never answer. Why? Because the moment they do, the grift is up. And they know their days are numbered. They know their days are numbered because they're becoming more vociferous, more aggressive, more threatening. And we've been warning about this for years and years. And now what's happening with the LBGT PSQ lot are saying, you've caused this. There's a rise in homophobia, of course, because of the added extras behavior and involving other people's children. And we're all tethered together in this long alphabet. And so what many of us LGBT people are saying at the moment is that we have to tether this. Otherwise, because they want us to go down with their raft. And we're saying, there's no way. We were doing fine. We had about a 15-year period in between the abuse, the end of the AIDS era, about a 15-year period of grace where things were sort of, and we understood that one had to work at it. One had to develop. These people now are just aggressively behaving like children and turning so many people against it. It's totally counterproductive. And the one thing gay people realized when we were fighting for our own rights was, you don't involve other people's children. This is the big mistake these people have made, and they're putting this stuff into kindergartens in America, in here, in fact, all over the West. It's a very Western problem, notice. So this is what is driving a lot of us at the moment. And if I seem angry about this, it's because I am angry. I'm really angry because all the good work has been undone and we've been betrayed by a once brilliant organization, Stonewall, utterly betrayed.